Yo, what's going on, guys? This is the Sunday watch list for the upcoming trading week from Monday the 1st to Friday the 5th. First and foremost, I just want to obviously say that tomorrow the market is mostly closed. The options and equities market is completely closed. The futures market is open from today from 6 p.m. to tomorrow at 1 p.m. Although the movement isn't going to be the best because there's going to be very low liquidity. Not going to be all banks are closed, so all the big money isn't going to be trading. So um, can try and trade, but don't expect the action to be the best. All right. So one thing I wanted to go over, or I should say, what I want to start going over. Remember last week when I said that even though the NQ chart was still fairly bullish, I was watching NQ mainly for shorts, and I mean you could see why. Here on the weekly on NQ, look here, it opened the week at 23,600, ended the week at 23,450. Which isn't really a big drop, but I mean you can see NQ compared to the rest of the market here. I can get rid of these lines because this is no longer respected. Actually, no, I don't want to because I'll show you guys on a lower time frame. But NQ is the weakest link. Look at this weekly chart on NQ here. Look at this candle right here, nice and red. Even got like a bearish little pin bar forming here. Um, get a little bit of a bearish pin bar here. Retested that supply, rejected. It did bounce off demand a little bit, but we'll go over that. And then look at ES's chart. ES was an indecision. It wicked higher, it wicked lower, it kind of closed right in the middle, and then RTY closed green, and YM closed as a closed red, but closed as a bullish pin bar. So obviously we were watching NQ for shorts last week because it was the relatively most weakest name in the market, and once again, it is still the relative weakest name in the market. I mean, you look at those weekly charts. I mean, there's it's telling you everything there. Um, Wait till this loads. I did just want to go over this as well. Main thing I was watching came into play. I was watching this NQ head and shoulders formation here. I was watching a reject at 23,800, 23,850 to fill out that head and shoulders, and that is exactly what we did here. After rejecting this 23,800, we dropped 400 points to the low, and now we'll see what we're gonna do from here. But on NQ going forward, we're going to be watching a few things. I'm mostly kind of watching downside trades, especially because the weakness on Friday's session. Um, as you can see on that previous daily candle that was just up there, I mean we closed a big bearish engulfing with big bearish volume as well, and we're kind of starting to form a little bit of a hourly bear flag here. You just look here, not really grade drawing, but kind of got a little hourly bear flag or an hourly drop base, whatever you want to refer it as. But anyway, there's a couple things I'm going to be looking for on this NQ chart. First and foremost, a break below this 23,370 is my main watch for shorts. As after we break 23,370, I don't really have anything until this 23,200, and then even then 23,200 isn't like a massive level. But this 23,100 and this 23,000, like in between this 23,000 and this 23,100, that's the level. That is the level among levels. It's the king level. Everything that matters this week is this 23,000, 23,100. You can see this previous demand holding again, higher low, and then that's when we absolutely ripped and took off to the upside. So for continued downside, first thing I'm going to be watching, market opens weak, maybe we bounce off this 400, get weak, bounce off here, reject off this 400. Once we lose that 23,370, that's my short entry down into 23,200. That is my top watch. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't happen tomorrow because there will be some liquidity issues tomorrow. So if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised if we break and then reclaim in seconds. It's not something that I will find odd at all if that does happen. So I'm kind of hoping get a little bit of a move like this for especially for overall market strength. Even if we come down here and like here from here, we pop, bounce off this 23,500, reject off this previous day low at 23,488, lose here, bounce, reject off there, bounce, and kind of get that structure into this 23,40. But that is going to be the main watch. I don't know if it'll happen this week, but for continued downside, right? So we break this, retest it over the next couple of days. We come down here. Most likely we bounce once, and then if we bounce twice, this is going to be. If we bounce a little bit here, this level will be tested 3 times. We bounce a little bit, get another higher low. This is the real breakdown and retest that we want for shorts right here. This 23,040 level, man, that is like that's the level of all levels at this very moment. This 22,800 is also a very, 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 very big level. You can see here on the 4-hour chart, we have this previous demand, higher low, and then the rip, which is the exact same thing we just saw on the hourly chart. It had that same exact structure on the hourly chart. Oh, shit. It had the same exact structure on the hourly chart. Which is right here, that double bottom, higher low, bam. So that's my main watch on NQ this week. Just to go over it. Lose this 23,370 level for a move down. Depending on price action, I would potentially test a long at this 23,040 level for the initial test. And then after that, the main watch would be a breakdown of 23,040. And if we get down to this 22,800, I don't think we are going to get down there this week. But if we do, then I'll make a new video updating that. Let me add a level here at this 23,600. It's a big level as well. But yeah, so that'll be my main watch on NQ. Break below this 23,370 is the main watch for a move back into this 23,40. And if we get super weak, I will address that in my recap videos. So ES is a little bit of a different chart, but what it does have here is a break of those previous all-time highs and a failure, which is a very, very, very bearish like setup for a continuation pattern to the downside. Is that break and failure below that is not what you want to see in the slightest bit for upside, but for downside traders like me, it's exactly what you want to see. So now if we lose this 2350 level down here, this 23, or sorry, I'm 23 from using NQ, this 6450 level, we get that move down into 6430, which is that previous demand, which is also the main level I talked about last week was the 6430, because obviously my computer's running a little bit slower now, but that was my Fibonacci retracement level that I discussed last Sunday, and in this previous resistance, 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 turn support. That was my main watch for upside continuation last week, and that's kind of exactly what we got. But if we break below this 664.30 level, we have nothing but room lower. We have absolutely nothing but room lower, like an 80-point move on ES, which is ridiculous if you catch an 80-point move. But if we do get there, if we do get it, then that would be main watch short on ES would be just a simple. Let's see, we break here, retest that 23,650, and then we break below and retest that 64.30 level. That would be the main watch for shorts. RTY, I took a trade on it last week. I took the breakout over 23.75. I may never trade RTY ever again. Just because not that it doesn't present good setups, but just the difference between the movement of RTY and NQ makes it impossible to trade RTY. I was in a trade for like 2 hours, and it was just in like a 5 to 10 point range for like 2 hours, and while NQ moved like 100 points in that time frame. So I mean, it was brutal. Like the contracts had like a $250 swing in them. They didn't do nothing, and so it was very, 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 very frustrating to sit in that one. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. What's going on here? So I took the breakout here. I took this breakout, and obviously it just farted around in between this range the entire time. My average on here was like 23.77, and I came here. We went up 10 points again. We went down 10 points again. We went up 10 points. We went down 10 points, and eventually I just stopped that break even, and just moved on. And then we did catch a little bit of a ripper into 23,400, which was my target, but I think that happened overnight. Yeah, it happened overnight. So, but we're back below that structure at 23.75. So RTY, I'm considering a relatively bearish chart. Now we're moving over to the only bullish setup I have, which is the YM, which for some reason on Tradeovate I can't trade, so I don't even know why I'm covering this, but I will cover it. YM is a bullish chart. If you see here, YM was only down 0.25% on Friday session compared to RTY, which is down 0.5%, ES, which is down 0.75%, and then NQ, which is down almost 1.5%, which is like main reason. I was watching NQ for shorts the most, ES for shorts the second most, RTY I'm not going to trade. But YM, if we can break above this 45,900 level, that's a big time trade. Back into this like bare minimum, this 46,350, maybe that would be the all-time highs on YM. But maybe we get that if we break this 45,900 level on YM, that's a beautiful trade. That's a beautiful trade. All right, so those are all my watches. That's what I'm watching and why I'm watching it. But really quick, I will do a quick trade recap from Friday session because I didn't do one. Friday session, I was coming into it relatively bearish after we rejected off that 23,800, filling out that daily head and shoulders the previous day, and then we kind of moved, and then overnight we were starting to fade pretty heavily into market open. Market opened. There was this pre-market structure here at like 23,620-ish, in and around there. We closed below this 23,900 or this 23,620 right here, and then we came up, retested it on that wick right there, and then we absolutely dumped. On this trade, I caught like 30. I think I caught 48 points on this trade. I think my average was like 23,612. Maybe it was 42. I think it was 42 points. I think it was like 23,612. and then I sold for around in and around 40 points. I know that. And then I was out of that one, and then my main watch for the day, which was posted in Discord, was a breakdown of the previous day low at 23,574. Yeah, previous day low on Thursday. Of this 23,574, we broke down, closed very weak on very, very, very high volume. This breakdown candle of previous day low had more volume than the opening print, which is extremely rare. Like extremely, extremely rare. But we did close 30 points below, but I was patient, waited for a retest, went short there, caught another like 30 something points, which could have been a much bigger trade. I could have easily caught over 100 points, but there is consistency rules on the firms, so I was not able to do that. This is yeah, I don't have time. It's not gonna load, but that's the firm. Um, but yeah, I mean that's the trade recap from Monday's session, along with my watch for the week. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the watch list for this upcoming trading week. September. It's also important to note that September is historically the most bearish month for the market. Out of the entire year, September historically is a red month for the market, which red months don't happen that often. Red months do not happen that often, and September is historically a red month for the market, which makes sense with the last trading day in August being a big bearish engulfing on rising volume. So yeah, but that's all I got for this recap and this watch list, and we will see you guys soon.